So hello, everyone. Again, my name is Glenn Montgomery. I'm with Vision Action Network. And I want to just start off by saying that the behavioral health sector has been confronting some really big challenges. And it didn't just begin with the pandemic. It's been a long time coming, but the pandemic has certainly exacerbated those challenges. And not quite a year ago, Van was approached by one of our largest behavioral health providers and said, hey, we could use some support. Is there anything that you might be able to do for us, bringing people together as you do? And so we ultimately had a behavioral health summit in March. And at that time, we brought about 90 people together trying to figure out, well, what can we do to shore up the behavioral health folks in this region? And so from that, we've continued those conversations, and this is one of the ways in which we are supporting our behavioral health professionals and the providers. We have with us 3 of the largest providers in Washington County, and what we're going to do is spend the first 15 or 20 minutes introducing these organizations and allowing representatives to speak broadly about what's going on in the sector. And at any time, you're welcome to use the chat room. If you want to ask a question or make a comment, please feel free to avail yourself of that. If there's time during this opening segment, we'll do our best to answer those questions. But if you have something that's relevant that we haven't gotten to, we promise that we will get back to you if we've got your contact information, and I'll speak to that in a moment. From that first segment, after we've done kind of those introductions, we'll transition into 2 breakout rooms, and you'll get an opportunity to choose which one you'd like to join. One of those rooms is going to talk broadly about career pathways. So you're going to learn about different employment opportunities in behavioral health, what are the educational requirements, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be that broad brushstroke. And there will be representatives from each of the providers in that room. The second breakout room is going to focus on entry-level jobs with an emphasis on a job that is referred to as a residential support associate or staff person. If you're seeking an immediate job opportunity, you're looking for some on-the-ground knowledge about what that entry point might be in the sector, this might be the room that you would want to join. We're going to spend the better part of an hour in those rooms, so you do have the flexibility to hop from one to the other, whatever suits you. And after those breakout sessions, we'll come back into this main room. And if there are any questions or comments, takeaways that people had, we might have some time to be able to share those. And we will share some additional information with you. We'll have some links to each of our providers' job opportunities, so you can go and take a look at those after the event itself. And we'll also have a link to a post-event job survey, a survey itself for this particular event, and we hope you'll complete that as well. Now, if you didn't already know, we've got a few prizes that we're going to be sharing with a lucky few at the end of this event. So for those who registered and are actually participating in this room today, if you hang out till the end, we're going to be doing that drawing with those prizes. Now, if at any time you've got a question, you can feel free to use your raise hand function, or if for whatever reason that's not getting our attention, you can unmute yourself and get our attention that way. Before I introduce our speakers and the moderator of this first segment of our event, I would like to get a sense of who you are, who's in the room. So I've got a couple of questions that I'm going to ask via polls. I'm going to launch a couple of polls, and I hope you will take the time to respond to those so that we can actually see who you are. So my first poll. Okay, now, Jenny, it's showing me that I can't see the polls. So are you able to see the polls?
No, unfortunately, I don't know why.
I saw them a moment ago. Allie, I'm wondering if Allie can see the polls, or anybody else who can click on polls. Iris, can you actually launch the polls? So would you launch? Is it allowing you to? How did Iris get the ability to do this?
I don't
Okay.
know. This is very strange.
This is how
Not.
this is how an agile team works.
Yes.
Iris,
She has superpowers.
she apparently does, and she stripped mine. So please launch the poll about who the folks are. So, and I can't even see the results. So Iris, you're going to have to let me know, you know, when you get to, I don't know, 85% completion rate. So folks, do your best to select the appropriate response in that first poll. And once we've got enough, a critical mass, Iris will share the results. This is an ongoing Zoom mystery. I'm going to give a prize for anyone who can tell me why the host can't find the polls he created.
Looks like we're at about 80% now, and looks like results have stopped coming in. So I'll go ahead and end this and go ahead and share.
Yeah, thank you. And then you'll probably have to read the results to me, just if there's anything interesting.
I think I might be sharing them to folks not.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Okay. It looks like we have 44% of folks here are exploring career options.
Nice.
Next is 26% are industry professionals and or advocates just here
Wow.
to learn and lend support.
Thanks for lifting us up.
We have 15% are mostly looking for a part-time job. Come to the residential room. Love to chat with you more. 9% is other reason. And 6% are I'm mostly looking for a full-time job. Also
Okay.
feel free to come to our room.
Good. All right. Iris, would you be so kind as to launch the second poll?
Maybe. Let's see. Yes, here we go. Here it comes.
Give people 30 seconds to respond to that one. And I apologize if there are people using an older version of Zoom or whatever the case might be where you're having technical difficulties. If you can't see the poll, I'm sorry about that. You can always put something in the chat to identify yourself if you want to do that.
All right. Looks like we probably have everyone here.
Okay.
So we had 78% of folks responding. 50% of folks are students. 19% are early career. I'm not even going to comment on the ages that were put in here. 16% are mid-career, 9% late career, and 6% semi-retired or retired.
Yeah, those ages were strictly my filter, my perspective and my perspective only. All right, good. Thank you so much for letting us know. That helps all of us who are actually presenting kind of get a sense of who you are. So now I'd like to introduce our moderator. Sabrina Van Artsdalen is with Work Systems, and Sabrina is going to have a fireside chat, as it were, with three of our representatives of the behavioral health providers. And Work Systems is our presenting sponsor. They've given us financial support to help put this event on and do some of the work to support the sector. She'll share a little bit more about herself and organization as she wishes. And so, Sabrina, with that, I'm going to hand the microphone off to you.
Thanks, Glenn. Good afternoon, everyone. As Glenn mentioned, I am Sabrina Van Artsdalen. I am with Work Systems, who is the local workforce development board covering Multnomah, Washington County. Work Systems is a vital partner with WorkSource Oregon and funds many training programs and workforce initiatives through state and federal grants, such as this event. We convene and work closely with employers to identify skill gaps and training needs. I'm very, very pleased to be here and moderate today, and I'm excited for all of you to learn more about mental and behavioral health and the many employment opportunities that it provides. With that, I think we should get started. So now let's have our three representatives from our providers introduce themselves and their organization. And how about we start with LifeWorks Northwest?
Still, here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Renelle Warner. I'm Vice President of HR and Organizational Development at LifeWorks Northwest. This afternoon, standing in for Mary Manat, our CEO, who is traveling, and she's really sorry that she was not able to be here. At LifeWorks, we believe that with the life works when individuals and families receive the support that they need. And to this end, we offer quality and culturally responsive mental health and addiction services across the lifespan. So from very young all the way to our older adults in the Tri-County area. Julie?
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Julie Ibrahim. I'm the CEO of New Narrative, and I'm so pleased to be here today. It's great to see all of you on this call. New Narrative is a nonprofit behavioral health agency that has been operating for 45 years in the greater Portland area. We provide a full spectrum of behavioral health treatment services and peer support services to adults 18 and older, as well as a wide variety of supported housing programs, which total about 200 units. We operate 40 facilities across Washington and Multnomah counties, and that includes clinics and housing units and peer support locations. We employ over 300 team members who serve over 2,000 participants every year, and we're growing fast. Many of my team members are here to talk to you today and answer any questions that you have about New Narrative. At New Narrative, we strive to support the whole person in the recovery of body, mind, and spirit to live the life they choose, giving each participant voice and choice in their treatment and their service plans. I hope that by the end of this session today, you will see that among the 3 providers represented here, there are many exciting employment opportunities just waiting for you. Marcia?
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. As the others have said, I'm so excited to see so many people have joined us. This is an opportunity for all of you to explore how you might assist people in their journey of recovery. Sequoia is a nonprofit that's operated in Washington County, exclusively in Washington County since 1981. We employ about 100 people and offer a wide array of services similar to what's been described previously by Julie. We also offer housing. We have residential settings. In addition, we have supported apartments. Our clinical services involve outpatient, community-based services. We offer services of a licensed medical practitioner, really trying to meet the needs of the whole individual. Our mission statement and our belief is that everyone has a road to recovery and the ability to lead a meaningful life. That's how we practice, that's how we focus. If that resonates for you, I hope that you take the opportunity to investigate our organizations further. And again, welcome.
Thank you very much to all 3 of you. Great introductions and a little bit of background on your organizations. I'd like to first maybe share the definition. Maybe Julie, if you could share the definition of behavioral health so everyone knows what we're talking about.
Thanks, Sabrina. Behavioral health in general is the promotion of mental health, resilience, and well-being. The behavioral health providers represented here today provide both treatment and support for those who experience mental health and substance use challenges with recovery as the goal in mind. That could include a widespread array of conditions such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar disorder, and substance use addiction, or less common disorders such as schizophrenia. And for the individuals we serve, it is common for them to experience more than one condition. We call that co-occurring conditions, such as depression and addiction.
Thank you. So what has been happening in the sector recently? How has it evolved over the last few years, especially given the pandemic?
The pandemic has had a huge impact on both the mental and physical health of our entire world. It's been a major stressor in so many different ways. And as a result, there's a greater awareness of the importance of behavioral health and a significant increase in the demand for treatment and support. At the same time, as many of you have heard, many people have dropped out of the workforce, leaving a very significant shortage in the behavioral health workforce, as in other fields. Renelle?
If I can underscore what Julie is saying, approximately, I want to say early 2011, so over a decade ago, there was a move towards removing the stigma that surrounds mental health and addiction. And we have made tremendous strides towards achieving this with public figures like Olympians Michael Phelps, Simone Biles, celebrities like, let's see, Lady Gaga and Jewel, most recently, publicly speaking about their struggles with mental health. It has gone a long way to remove the embarrassment factor that stood in the way of people seeking mental health and addiction treatment. The one thing that we did not simultaneously do was to develop a workforce that could meet the demand and the needs of our community. The government's most recent report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics forecasts a growth of 22% in the field of mental health and addiction career opportunities over the next decade. And this is significantly higher than any other field currently.
Thank you very much. Marcia, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I think a particular need in the profession is for individuals who represent different facets of our society. We are desperately in need of individuals from the Hispanic community, LGBTQ, and whatever else in terms of the different types of needs that people have depending upon their culture and their background. So I really encourage anyone who's thinking of a career in behavioral health to look further and pursue that pathway, because it's a particularly huge need in our behavioral health sector.
Thank you very much. I understand in some ways this sector is in a crisis, but what opportunities does that present for people who are interested in finding a job or a career in behavioral health?
For those of you who are interested in a job or a career helping folks with behavioral health challenges, this is the best time in recent history to step in and help. There are more jobs available than ever before, and more money available than ever before to fund new jobs at higher rates. This past year, the Oregon State Legislature invested over $1 billion in behavioral health, and much of that went to increased wages and workforce retention. Our state legislature, the Oregon Health Authority, and the county health authorities are looking for innovative, creative solutions to meet the challenges of behavioral health and housing, and are willing to fund them. It's the most exciting time to work in this field and to try new things. And I encourage you to jump in.
Absolutely, Julie. And the exciting thing is that there are many ways to enter the field and several different career paths. For example, someone with a high school diploma or a GED can start as a residential care facilitator. It's sometimes called a residential support associate. And while they're doing that, accumulate hours towards becoming a QMHA. I noticed that we have several students online this afternoon. It's a great way to earn money, earn hours towards a degree while you're also studying. Another option is for individuals who personally experience mental health challenges, or they might have an immediate family member who struggled with mental health, or perhaps they're in recovery themselves. For as little as approximately 40 hours with some coursework, they can earn a peer support or a family support or a peer mentor certificate. So that would be another way to enter into the field. And these are also people that can really serve to support people that are struggling with these different conditions. COVID has significantly increased the number of people struggling with addiction. And as Julie said, the Oregon government is investing huge amounts of money towards training counselors. And when you're working at a public nonprofit organization, you're able to apply for student loan forgiveness through the Department of Ed's public student loan forgiveness program. And it doesn't mean that it has to be a degree or certificate within the field. So even if you join having had studied a degree in perhaps a liberal art, those loans are still, you're able to submit to be forgiven. It truly is a wonderful time to move forward from having a job that gives you a paycheck to launching a very rewarding career.
Marcia, would you like to add anything?
I think the main qualification we look for is a passion for the work. This job, this profession is about caring, supporting people in their journey to a better life. And without the passion, without that drive, are likely not to be as successful. In addition to being the executive director, I started out, I'm a licensed clinical social worker. And I know for a fact, that's the reason I'm here. That's the reason I continue to do the work. So I think that's probably the factor we always look for when we're hiring.
Thank you. I do see a couple of questions in the chat. So if I miss something, somebody kind of nudge me. But one of them, Monica, is asking, are there remote positions with any of the participating organizations?
Specifically, we have several telehealth mental health positions, as well as mental health associate positions. So case managers, yes, we do have remote only positions available.
We do have some hybrid positions in certain parts of our agency. We don't have any positions that are 100% remote, but we do have many hybrid positions, and we have lots of scheduling flexibility.
Yeah, we have some hybrid situations for that people work in as well. Obviously, those don't involve the workers in the residential settings. You obviously need to be at the site. But in some of our outpatient services, those who are doing outpatient therapy do have that option part-time.
Thank you. We have another question. This is from our friend in South Africa. He introduced himself to us early on in the conversation before many of you got on. But he is asking, would I stand a chance if I am from South Africa? I have 3 years plus in my field. I am 4 years, 10 months clean and help from my lived experience. I am fully involved in my community, helping people with addiction and mental health issues. It's my passion to help others, for I believe God saved me, so I will save others. I am certified peer recovery specialist and run a recovery sober house. Thank you for that.
I can probably speak to that since I am an immigrant from South Africa. You would need a sponsor to enter the United States. There are many career opportunities, but you would have to definitely have a sponsor to have you come to the United States. The specific credentials that you have are not on the list for most needed at this time. So you wouldn't be able to get a special visa, but you would need, like I say, you would need a sponsor to be able to come to the United States. And then, of course, there are many, many job opportunities for what you have for your credentials.
Yeah, to build on Renelle's comments, assuming that you could get legal status to work in the United States, your country of origin would certainly not be a barrier at our agencies. We're looking for people that are passionate about the work. Your experience is a plus, and we're looking for diversity in our workforce. So yeah, you would be welcome.
He's asking how he gets a sponsor. If you would put your contact information in the chat, I'm sure someone would be more than happy to respond to you. There's another question from Summer. Are there entry-level positions, opportunities that can also be used to meet practicum hours?
Yes, absolutely. At New Narrative, there's a lot of entry-level positions. We're in both, particularly our residential section. Would you say that's true, Iris? And we're also we welcome folks that are doing their internships, that are doing their practicums. Absolutely welcome those folks as well.
At Sequoia, we also have interns, people doing their practicum, different levels of care in the organization. So students are always welcome here, and we value their presence and the ability to grow our workforce through that fashion.
Thank you.
I think I speak for all the agencies in saying that this is a good way for students that are interested in this field to get your foot in the door. You know, come to our agencies. We welcome students.
And I think sorry, go ahead.
No, Renelle, go ahead.
It's also a great way to try out the different areas of our field, be it maybe you'd like to work with youth and find that maybe that's not exactly what you wanted to work with. You'd rather work with adults or severely persistent mentally ill clients. It's a great way to try out the different areas of our field to see what is really your niche.
Okay, thank you very much. Glenn, I think this is a good time to get back to you, and so we can go to the breakout rooms.
Yeah, I want to thank Julian, Marcia, and Renelle. That was a great opening segment. And at this point, we're going to transition to those two breakout rooms. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we'll have a career pathways room, and we have our entry-level jobs room. So depending on where your interest lies, choose one of those rooms. If you're not able to see the pop-up that shows the breakout rooms, let us know. We'll help move you into a room. If you've got an older version of Zoom, sometimes you don't see the invitation to actually choose a room. But if you can see that, go ahead and choose the room that you would like. We're going to have about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see where the schedule is and where the conversation is going before we bring you back for closing out in the main room and to share more information. So I look forward to seeing you in a bit. Jenny, we can go ahead and stop our recording or pause our recording for now. Welcome back. I think we may have everybody now. Let's see. Do I see? Yes, I see Iris. Frida is also here. Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you felt like you got what you needed out of that breakout room. I do want to share that we are going to have a room available after this kind of formal event is over. We'll keep 3 breakout rooms open, 1 for each provider. If any of you wants to hang out after the event, we're going to have representatives from each of the providers in those breakout rooms for 15, 20 minutes, you know, whatever it takes to just kind of answer any last minute questions or exchange some information. So feel free to hang out after we're done here. What else? I'm just going through my little notes here. We're going to share some links in the chat room. You might have already gotten some of these links in the breakout rooms, but our providers have job sites where you can go and take a look at what the immediate opportunities are. So Jenny is going to post those in our chat room for your benefit. Know that you will also receive an email from us with a recap of the event and these things. So if you can't, you don't have to act on these things immediately or try to save them, but if they're helpful for you now, great. Also, I heard Iris mention this. I'm not sure it was mentioned in the Career Pathways room, but we have another job fair and career conference that is going to be an in-person event. That will be on January 21st. That's a Saturday. It'll be in Beaverton at the Village Church, which is a great facility, lots of space there to spread out. And it'll be from 1 to 4 p.m. So Saturday, January 21. Again, this information will be in a follow-up email with you. But at that event, we're going to have some culturally specific providers. We're going to have educational institutions, career counselors, and other professionals. So we're hoping that it's going to be a much larger event, and we're excited about being able to host that in person. So you'll get an invitation to that, whether you want it or not. You don't have to do anything with it, but you will get an invite. Okay, so hang out for the breakout rooms. Stay safe, stay well. This formal part of the event is now over. And Jenny, if you could open up the breakout rooms so people can go into those.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome.